Hey everybody, this is Derek for the Grumpy Guy Show, talking about episode number 74. They didn't get the memo. Recorded on Tuesday, December 6, 2022. Tonight's topics: that's not a steak or a bagel. And how does a circle work with a rectangle? Stick around, it's a good show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Grumpy Guy Show. I'm Derek McAllister.
And I'm Ryan McAllister.
So tonight I got some cool news. I was finally able to figure out how to get it so I could see some statistics from Spotify as far as the views and video and whatnot from there. And I have some really exciting news. We have 7 followers.
Wow.
Yeah, we have 7 followers, supposedly 47 listeners.
Oh.
We've had so they have a couple of different things that I'm not 100% sure on. 296 starts, which means if I read correctly, they've listened to at least 30 seconds. Okay. Mm-hmm. But we've had 173 streams, which, if I remember correctly in my reading, that means that 170 full views of the episodes, which is awesome.
Wow.
So now
that's incredible.
Yeah, so now we can stop saying that we have just the one listener.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose what that means too. I don't know if they're following or if they're watching, or if it's literally just if it's just them. Listening or if they're watching. It doesn't say. Mm-hmm. But still, that's more than what we have on the stats for Anchor. Which is, it's a podcast hosting site. So the fact that we're getting that many on Spotify is pretty cool, and
it is.
Kind of justifies me saying hold off on jumping to the YouTube boat right away.
Yep.
Does it mean that it won't happen? Nah, it doesn't mean that. It just means it's going to wait a little bit longer. So, what do you say we jump right into it with one of our 47 people famous? All right, so maybe it's not 47 people, but has 7 people. But yeah, we'll jump right into it. So first up, we have something that we didn't get to last week, and at this point, it's a little bit of an old topic, but we'll I still want to talk about it, and I want to make we'll make it kind of quick because we've got a few others in there, and I'm sure at least one of them is really gonna get us going, or at least me. I don't know. So this first topic, it's about hate crimes and guns. Okay.
Of course.
So recently there was a shooting in LGBTQ nightclub out in Colorado.
Plus.
Yes. Okay. So forgive me, folks.
Plus is necessary at this point.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it, and to be honest with you, my notes over here, they say LBGTQ, which I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but at any rate, it is what it is there. But so there was a shooting there, and everybody starts jumping on things and, jumping on the whole, we got a ban gun bandwagon and everything.
Right to the gun control argument.
Yeah. And,
down our throats for the millionth time.
Yeah. And, as we talked about before, banning guns isn't necessarily the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because that just means criminals are the only ones that are going to have the guns.
And the government.
Yeah. And what this really comes down to is a hate crime. Mm-hmm. And the worst part is to try and get around it becoming a hate crime and hate crime charges, the defense is saying, "Oh, well, he's I think they said he was bi or something like that. So it was supposedly okay or
Weak.
something." I'm like, that doesn't make it okay. That's that.
Weak.
So, let's put it this way, plain and simple. You come out with that afterwards, and that tells me, okay, that's going to be your defense. You're going to claim that, oh, it's not a hate crime because he is also gay. No.
That doesn't make it not a hate crime.
Yeah, and the thing that really bothers me
It's like
beyond.
if a mixed race person killed like let's go with an Asian, just because there's a lot of Asian hate crimes within the past 2 years because of COVID.
Yeah, I mean,
And the defense is that that the the murderer is half black. So it's not a hate crime. That's not an excuse.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
still a hate crime because you went after a minority.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, it's simply put, a hate crime is when you go and attack somebody. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
When you attack some kind of group, whether you're associated with that group or not, doesn't matter. You know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I mean, to a point, I guess it does, but I don't know. I just think in this case, I think it's a really weak defense. And it was very quick to come out afterwards. It's not like it was, like they're trying to hide things or whatever. No, it came out extremely quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He's gay. Well, no, sorry, folks. I don't believe
That
that.
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I don't believe it. But the only way it would be
Mass
believable,
murder is mass murder no matter what you,
yeah,
no matter what sexuality you are.
the only way that I would find this believable at all is if if he was a regular at this club. Okay, well, if he was a regular at this club, then perhaps he's just overly childish and was rejected by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's a possibility, but I find that doubtful. And what so many people don't seem to realize is these hate crimes aren't going to end just because you take away guns. It just means they're going to find different methods.
Mm-hmm.
And you look what happened. What happened is there was somebody in the club who was former military, who as soon as the guy came in and started shooting, his military instincts kicked in and he took him down. And not only that, he had somebody decide to follow him to take him down. That's why
Mm-hmm.
that's why there weren't many people killed, because these two people took him out. And then somebody had to point out that, oh, he was in very bad shape when it came to his arraignment. And I'm like, well, yeah, he's in bad shape because, well, he went in there with somebody who's been trained to defend themselves barehanded, and
Mm-hmm.
this person decided, you know what, instead of shooting him, I'm just going to take his gun away. I'm going to beat him with it. I'm like, there you go. But that's the whole thing.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. This person,
That is certainly a way to use a gun.
yeah, but
Rather strange way to use a gun, but still.
yeah, but you look at it, and I mean, this guy he's trained in hand-to-hand combat.
Mm-hmm.
What if he was the bad guy? He wouldn't. That tells me he doesn't have to go in there with a gun. He goes in there with, a big knife, machete, something like that. He can do some serious damage,
Doesn't
and that's
even
the
need
whole
a.
thing.
He could probably beat a few people to death with his bare hands.
Well, yeah, but if you're going to go in there to kill a large number of people, you're going to take a weapon
Well, yeah, probably.
or two, and they don't necessarily have to be guns. And that's the whole thing that people are failing to realize when they start talking gun control, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the other issue is hate crimes. I mean, to me, simply put, if you're somebody who's going to attack any kind of minority or people that are different than you,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're a minority or not doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
if you're going to do that, that tells me that you're some kind of a coward.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't live with people who are different than you, then maybe you should move. Move someplace where everybody is the same as you. Oh, where would that be? That'd be some island out in the middle of the ocean because there isn't any place like that.
Exactly.
You,
Especially here in the United States,
yeah,
which is a melting pot of everything.
yeah, and
Many non-Americans like to say that the United States has no culture because we stole from other cultures.
well, I mean, you look at it, and for the most part, we're a fairly young nation.
Exactly.
There's some nations that are younger than us, which surprisingly
Exactly.
includes Italy. But
And Germany.
well, yes and no.
That it depends on if you count Prussia as Germany.
Mm, I don't know, but we won't get into that.
Germany united around the same time as Italy.
Yeah, but at any rate, the whole thing is, folks, you're not gonna find any place. I mean, places like you know in Europe or Asia, their their cultures, though Italy itself is younger than the United States, the cultures and everything that makes up it, the Italian culture is older.
A
It's
lot
it's
older.
it's been around for a very very long time.
Hmm.
It's just been melted together so that it's one cohesive thing because most of because a lot of the stuff is the same. But the United States, I mean, we are our own thing because we're just mixing them all together.
Exactly.
And if you don't like that, if you don't like the fact that some people are gay or lesbian or some people are black or white or Native Americans, well, you kind of need to leave. The right thing, that's the right thing to do. The right thing to do is
Hmm.
not to go shooting them up. The right thing to do is you leave.
Exactly.
But at any rate, so I think that's enough for that.
Hmm.
At least for now. I'm sure it's going to come up again later.
Time for our world famous transition.
Yeah. Woo. So, next thing. And we're just going to go top to bottom on here. We
Okay.
didn't actually talk about an order, so. So, the next thing. So
Yep.
McDonald's is on to their, they're starting to push their breakfast again. Apparently, their breakfast sales are dying down or something because
Uh,
all of their commercials
I
are now
remember
about
when they
breakfast.
made breakfast available all day. They went nuts about that.
Yeah, well, now they're making this big deal about the bagel sandwich is back for a limited time. And you really got to put bagel in quotes on that, folks, because
Just like the
it's not really a
just like
bagel.
the McRib is back for a limited time again.
Yeah,
Except this time it's never coming back again, supposedly.
yeah, right.
The farewell tour.
Just like
He'll be
all the,
back next year.
it's just like all the Disney movies that went into the archives permanently.
No,
But now
it's
they're
called the
back on Disney
Vault.
Plus. Yeah, whatever. Now they're on Disney Plus all the time. So, it's just
Yep,
stupid. It's marketing crap. But at any
it
rate,
is.
So they bring back this bagel sandwich, and they're talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can get it with a steak patty. I'm like, a steak patty? You mean I
And
can get it with a hamburger?
a steak burger.
Yeah, I mean, they literally called it a steak patty, and I'm like, that's a hamburger. You're just
It's literally
finding
just a
another use for your crappy meat.
it's literally just a steak burger. You can find those at Steak and Shake.
If you can get
Albeit
service.
Steak and Shake probably won't serve you.
but I was just like, the first time I heard it,
Steak and Shake will probably not acknowledge your existence.
yeah. But the first time I heard it, I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
And the saddest thing in the world is there's a ton of people out there that are going to think that this steak patty is different than their hamburgers. It's
Mm-hmm.
not, folks. It's the same damn thing.
This is McDonald's.
Yeah. It's all about efficiency. What can you use? I mean, when
This
I
isn't an Arby's, which uses a million different kinds of meat.
yeah, I mean, when I took over a diner that was really failing, one of the things that they did is they would cook an entire prime rib on Friday night and then throw it out. So one of the things I did was, how can we reuse this prime rib?
Mm-hmm.
We started out by, I said, cut it in half, and I want you to cook only half of it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that saved us a ton of money, because now instead of, because we rarely went through half of a prime rib in a weekend. So we cut it in half. Okay, great. Now we're saving, we saved half of the cost of that. And then I said, well, let's start saving these pieces, and we can use it to make, like once every couple of weeks, we can use it to make stroganoff. We started doing that. And then I said, well, you know what? Let's cut some slices, some thicker slices, and we can use it as an open face sandwich special during the week. So suddenly
That's the first thing I thought of was some sort of sandwich.
yeah. So suddenly,
That's probably
instead
because I
of
really like sandwiches.
instead of throwing out virtually two prime ribs, we got back to cooking two full prime ribs because we were using stuff. That's how a restaurant can really truly make a lot of money, is by reusing things for
Mm-hmm.
different stuff. Even if that's just using raw products. So, like the prime rib, if we weren't using it all, like we were selling the more well done cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So, that left the center stuff, which is generally very rare. Well, you take that and you cook it again, it's not going to be chewy. So, but we could actually take the prime rib and cut it ourselves instead of paying somebody to do it. Cut it ourselves, and we can make steaks, and we can do all kinds of other stuff with it. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's how a restaurant makes money. In a place like McDonald's, they're going to do that. That's why you have a steak patty.
Well, McDonald's is more of a real estate company than it is a restaurant.
Yeah, to a point
All
it
these
is.
fast food places are.
To a point, yeah. But that's the whole thing. I mean, they market it as something different. They can jack the price up on it. It's
Mm-hmm.
still their little 1.5 ounce hamburger patty, but now it looks bigger because it's on a smaller bagel. you know, and of course, the bagel and the egg and the cheese are extremely cheap. Like, it's cheaper than, I mean, there's a reason that breakfast is usually cheaper to go to and get than lunch or dinner. It's just cheaper products, not necessarily cheaper products, but lower cost
They put
products.
that cheese on everything.
Yeah, they use the same cheese for everything. If you get cheese at McDonald's, it's that American cheese.
Mm-hmm.
But
The same exact slices of American cheese put on everything.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I had to laugh so hard at it though. I was like, yeah, okay, so you're trying to make this so-called bagel something special, and then you're trying to say that your burger patty is something special. It's just nuts. I don't get it.
I mean, didn't they already try to make it special by putting it on a bagel?
Yeah, yeah. And it's just it's not a bagel. I mean, if you've had a real bagel, that's not a bagel.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bread that's made a little chewy. But anyway,
It's even less of a bagel than something that you buy on the store.
oh yeah.
Mmm,
Well,
that bad.
unless you're buying like national brand would be like Lenders or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You buy them in the freezer section or the refrigerated section. Even
Uh,
even if you're buying the fresher stuff, that's I can't think of the brand Stromans or something like that.
they're probably more bagel-like than bagel bites.
Yeah, not any more than those, to be honest with you.
Ah,
A bagel takes a long time to prepare.
yep,
And I'm basing that on what I've seen as far as cooking shows. That a bagel is not
yep.
something that's fast to make. So
I've seen a video where um I've seen a few cooking shows like on YouTube where there's one episode where he recreates there's one show where the guy recreates stuff from movies and TV, and one of the episodes he did bagel sandwiches.
yeah, but an actual bagel it takes more effort than making a loaf of bread,
Hmm.
which it includes an extra long rise time and
Yep.
several punching down, and then of course you have to boil it in some form of, I can't remember exactly what's in the water now, but
Hmm.
you have to do that, and then after that you have to let it rise, and then you bake them finally. So that's how you get the real chewiness. It's
Yep.
not. That's why bread isn't really chewy, because
Hmm.
it. I mean, you look at when I make bread. It's, yeah. I let it rise multiple times, probably more than I need to, but you know,
Yep.
overall, it's about a 3-hour process. Bagels
Hmm.
are bagels are over a
No
day.
time at all.
Yeah, bagels are well over a day.
Yep.
So it's a big difference. But at any rate, how about we move on to the next one? Ooh, you can't really see my
Transition.
fingers here, and I'm like, I'm pointing at the camera, and I can barely see my fingers because of the filter that I've got on. But at any rate, so if anybody is not watching,
Hmm.
now that I know we've got some viewers, or potential viewers at least, I'm gonna have to consider starting to put in the animations again. I have to consider it. All right, so the next topic that we've got. So there's some things that have changed over the years. One
Of
of
course.
those one of those things, and it's been a very drastic change, is toilets.
Right.
I'm really taking us down to crapper now.
Puns.
Yeah, now we're gonna lose our seven followers.
Yep. Our 47 viewers.
Yeah. So at any rate, um, one of the things that's changed is the
As
toilet.
unless one of my a certain friend of mine is one of our viewers. She loves puns.
So everybody knows that they use a whole lot less water than they did even 15 years ago. But something that most
Uh,
people don't think about is the fact that the the bowl at the bottom where everything goes out when you flush
Yep.
used to be round.
Mm-hmm. It's
It
not
is
anymore?
no longer round. It is rectangular now.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, but here's the whole catch and the reason that this ticks me off.
Yes.
So when the toilet gets plugged for whatever reason, you get the plunger. What shape is the
After
plunger?
you've had a violent one,
What shape is the plunger?
I believe it would be round.
Exactly. So now we're
So
looking at
this
the
is
whole
basically the opposite
Apollo.
of the whole square peg in the round hole thing.
Yeah, we're right back to the whole issue that that they had in Apollo 13, where you got a square peg and a round hole. Well, now you got you got a rectangular hole and a round peg. I mean, it just doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work. So it takes you 5 times as long to clear the stupid toilet out, and it's like, what the hell?
Yep.
Can't somebody, and I thought, well, okay, maybe it's just because every time I think about it, I'm at Walmart. So we were at Lowe's getting some stuff for
Quit lying. You don't go to Walmart anymore.
yeah, I try to avoid
It's
it.
like, because you can't find shit anymore.
Yeah. But we were buying some stuff for the
Close to
bathroom
restock.
when we were redoing the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in Lowe's and I just said, well, let's go look at the toilets. I got to take the toilet up anyhow. Maybe we'll replace it. And I found one that was low cost. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do that because it'd be stupid not to. So then I'm
Yep.
like, hey, you know what? I'm here. Let me look and see what there is for plungers. Every single plunger there was round. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you people?
Plunger companies can't be bothered.
You redesign the stupid toilet and you can't redesign the plunger. I mean, it's not that difficult to change a mold a little bit.
Plunger companies can't be bothered.
I guess, but it's
Either that or they're not paying attention to what the toilet companies have been telling them. They didn't get the memo.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just see that and I'm like, you really got to be kidding me. This is insane. It's such a simple change. I don't know. It just
But
makes
hey,
things to be
what
a
do
real
I
pain
know?
in the ass. Yeah. Oh well. All right, folks. I'm sure you heard it starting up in the background.
In that case, good night.
We'll see ya.